I won't lie, I got a little nervous. It went all black. So it wasn't just me. Oh, couple of folks. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday. Of course, now the sun's gone away. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Thursday, and folks, it's December. First of all, what happened to every other month in 2020? And B, like, what happened to the year? Holy cow. This is wild. Hope everyone's good. Let us know how you're doing, where you're coming from. Glad to be back. This is our third last webinar, I think, if I've counted correctly, for 2020. We've got next week and the following week, so 2 more to go after that. Kind of sad, but happy. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? All my folks down in the States, I hope you guys had a safe and happy Thanksgiving, had some R&R. Let us know how everybody's doing. You're going to see a couple of familiar names in the chat. As always, got Miss Carmen there. Hello, Dallas. I see Oregon. Oh, hold on, I got to scroll back, guys. You're too fast. Las Vegas. I was in Vegas last January, a year ago, almost. And hello, Illinois. It was a blast. Had a lot of fun. Went with my brother and my sister-in-law. Good times. Hello, Toronto, Alabama. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Nevada. Little Rock, Arkansas. Heard of? And so many ways I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you how, or I sadly have never been. But hello, Brampton. Couple more minutes, folks. Please, I know over the last couple of webinars especially, we've been experiencing technical issues with connections and just not being the greatest on your end. We are very aware, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys know we are looking to a bit of a better platform. I don't want to say better. We're looking into a different platform. All platforms have their pros and cons, so it's not going to really change in some cases for other things. But we are looking at other platforms, so please, please, please do be patient with us there. Hopefully, in the next coming weeks, we'll see some changes coming. So we're just going to give you guys 2 or 3 more minutes, and we'll get going here, rocking and rolling. I'm very excited to talk about managing overwhelm, some strategies. We've got some great tips for you here today. Very excited. Hope everyone's good. I hope everyone down in the States had a great Thanksgiving long weekend. You guys take your long weekends super seriously. Like here in Canada, we just get a Monday. I feel like you guys do the whole week. I know it's probably not the whole week, but very into having a couple of days off. So hope everyone's well. Hello, New Jersey, Michigan. I see Ottawa. Hello, Ottawa. I bet you guys got a lot of snow up your way now. 1 more minute here, and then we're gonna get rocking and rolling. We had some snow here. Yes, it's happened, but it's December in Canada, folks. It happens. I hope everyone is safe right now. I know that everywhere we are is just, it's absolutely wild right now with COVID. So I hope everyone is taking some time to just stay safe. Please do. All right, guys, let's get into her. Let's get going. I want to make sure, because we're talking about stress, we're talking about managing overwhelm today. Just wanted to make sure that you guys, as always, know that at the end of the day, yes, we are not the people you want to seek medical attention from. Please, there's so many different resources out there that if you're looking for professional support, that you do consult with a person who's obviously properly trained, a counselor of any kind, if you're needing extra support. Ideally here, what we want you guys to do is take away some inspiration, some tips, some tricks that could definitely help you with your day-to-day life and supporting your mental health. But if you're really, if you are very much struggling, don't be shy to reach out. I can definitely point you in the right directions in some cases. Any of us can, to just get you started, or reach out to a friend to help you out. Please don't be shy. It's a very serious time right now, especially with COVID. And even I find coming up to Christmas and the holidays, it can be an even more difficult time for many people out there. So as always, folks, the session is recorded. We will be sending it out. So once again, if you are having those difficulties with connections, everything's recorded. We do send it on out. You'll make sure we'll get it all to you. Excuse me, the slides and the certificates will all be made available. The certificates at the end of the webinar, but the slides and everything will once again be with the recording sent out tomorrow with the show notes. So don't be shy. And of course, any resources we talk about, they're also going to be included. So we do our best to make sure to wrap everything up in a nice bow for you guys. Once again, if you're just joining us, we are looking to make sure we get a bit of a better experience for you guys on your end, even for us as well. But we're looking into different platforms, making sure we're picking the right one. So please be patient if you are finding that the connections are not amazing and you're having to reconnect and reconnect. Once again, we will make sure to get you guys out that recording, but we are looking for an alternative solution for that. So not to fret. Today, I'm joined by my fabulous colleagues today. Carmen, of course, is on the chat, and we do have Kiah, who's going to be coming on with us in a little bit to talk a little bit more about managing overwhelm and feelings of overwhelmed. And I see Lucinda's back, everybody. I saw it quickly there out of the corner of my eye. But we're here. So if any questions as well, please message Carmen in on the chat. She makes sure to get those back to Kiah and I. What we're looking at for today. So today, folks, we're talking about overwhelm, the impacts around it. We want you guys to get involved. So we're going to ask you guys a couple of great questions. Please don't be shy. This is a safe place for you. So if you are feeling like you want to express something that maybe a little deep, we're here. We're here for that. Okay. So we want to talk about stress and overwhelm and kind of get the conversation flowing, but as well, provide you guys with some tools, tips, some key takeaways, even from the marketing team here at Hi Mama. We have a great one that we love to use. That A, gets a great laugh in the morning, and B, it's just fun. So it works too. So we all know this. The day-to-day life right now, like even without COVID, it's already got regular stressors built into it. And it's already pretty, packed on a day-to-day when it comes to dealing with those stressors. But COVID has definitely not helped at all. I wouldn't say it has at all. And we've all been thrown a massive curveball. 2020 has been, the saying right now across social media has been the dumpster fire. And it's not a lie. We have an inside joke. We'll talk about it later here at Hi Mama. But what is overwhelm? If you've never heard of it, so of course you can use the word overwhelm in different ways. Obviously right now in our sense and the way we're talking about it, using it as a verb, but that actually makes a difference because you can use it in a different variety of ways. So obviously it's intense emotions. We're going to be looking a little bit more about how to work with all those emotions, but it can actually impact your day-to-day life. It can impact how you think, how you work, everything day-to-day that you have to get done, and even thinking critically. So that's huge. It can actually impact your day-to-day life in a very easy way, and you might not even know it. So there's causes of it. Obviously, we know the high-end causes of it. A traumatic experience. You've sadly lost somebody. You've been in an accident. It could be so many different things, but those simple things can actually add up and create the feeling of overwhelm. So it could start with you missed your bus that day. And then of course, because let's say you dropped your phone on the sidewalk and then you didn't have a good night's sleep. And then you finally get to work and, you've had an argument with a coworker or a family member or something like that. And all of a sudden you just have this immense feeling of you're having a bad day, and it can turn into that feeling of being overwhelmed. And we all have it. And each person as well, they deal with these things very differently. So some people are maybe a little bit more equipped. That's what I like to say. Me being a very emotional person, I tend to not deal with little things like that easily. I tend to get overwhelmed. I tend to be that person by the time I've gotten to work. If those things have happened sequentially, my day is ruined, absolutely ruined. So by the time I get home, I'm just a ball of frustration. And my husband usually has to go, whoa, take it down a notch. So, and other people, I feel like they just handle it so much better than I do. And in some cases they might, some cases they don't. It's just how they deal with it and how you deal with it as a person. So the sign list, if you were to Google this, which of course I did when I was researching about some of the signs of this, folks, it is, the list is huge. I can't fit them all on one slide. So, but I wanted to pick like the big things. And of course, there's that big reaction to the small situations, which I definitely can do and definitely attest to doing in the past. You can be very tired for just no reason whatsoever. You can't focus at work. You can't focus on maybe a task you need to do at home that night or something. You tend to withdraw from those social situations. That one might be a little less right now just because of the state the world is in right now. And then, of course, there's the sad part of, you don't feel like you don't feel happy. You don't feel, you're sad, you're angry, you're mad, all of the above. And those are some of the big signs. And most people don't really think about it in that sense. They don't feel like that's something that, oh, there's actually something wrong. And then, of course, we just kind of throw it away and don't think too much about it and move on. But there's long-term implications to all of this. So we all know this. We all know that when, part of evolution, we have a fight or flight mode. And right now we're in a constant state of fight or flight. And we're not meant to stay in that state as humans. We're meant to settle down. We're meant to, we've done the thing, it has to happen, but we're still sitting in there right now. We're still doing the thing. And that's kind of what the pandemic has created within us as humans. And that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. So it impacts you long term. We said, and we knew this a while back, but it's really sad to say that, of course, the long term effects, not just on, finances and like the whole economy. And there's a whole list of things that we could go on about what's going to be impacted because of COVID. But your ability to learn and remember, I already think with age, the remember part has caught up with me. It happens, folks, it happens. But we're going to be at a higher risk of mental illness. And, I don't think the system is actually ready to support something like that. And I think we need to start thinking ahead in regards to preparing not just our children and our teens and adults, our young adults, but ourselves as we go through this. We've seen this as well with people living in long-term care. The implications for mental health on them has been huge right now. We're going to start seeing more physical pain. I hope you don't. I hope that it doesn't turn into that for you. And then, of course, the social life. We're in an area where socialization is, we're grappling because we really want it and we really want to be there and have those conversations with our people. But we're going to start, coming away from all of that. And then, of course, it can even take the step further, which is having impacts on your personal relationships with whether they be your partner or your family member of some kind. And 2020 has been tough. This is why I highly stress, if you are needing any help, please seek it. Okay. It's supposed to be there. So stress, it can be worse. And this is where COVID really took it out. We didn't see it coming. And when we don't know a stressor is coming, it impacts us just that much more. We have no real end in sight. And I'm kind of hoping with the vaccine updates that we've been getting over the last couple of weeks, we do get a little bit of light. And then, of course, and very little support or guidance. We've kind of had to grapple a little bit to get some of that. And slowly yet surely, it is coming out in so many places. But we want to make sure that we are finding those things and you're seeking it and we're getting some guidance, because at the end of the day, it will feel so much worse because of all those things. So let's get on the same page. Ms. Kiah, get on here, will ya?
Hello.
The serious questions. This is the serious questions. And maybe what we can do, Kiah, is we can start with you. But in the chat, folks, what we'd like to see is tell us one thing you feel worried about right now. And Kiah, if you want to kick us off, maybe what's something that's on your mind these days?
Yeah, for sure. There's been some great conversation going on in the chat right now. So definitely pop that in. I'll share with everyone publicly on my end here some things that have been definitely top of mind lately. More so today is definitely finances. I know we're all in a tough spot any time of year, but especially now with the holidays coming up, end of the year things coming up, tax season is going to be around the corner, finances are definitely on the top of my mind. And I feel like it's been a month since payday, but it's only been a week.
I know.
And I've had like 3 text messages today. Hey, look at this sale here. And Maria, I messaged you today. Can you put this on your credit card? Because I don't have any room. So finances for me, and like, is something I'm definitely worried about right now. So that's top of mind for me. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I'm sure finances for everyone at some point, definitely top of mind.
For sure. And we actually, folks, you guys have been amazing in the chat here. I don't know, Kiah, if you've kept your eye on the chat. It's blowing up, which I love. Lots of people have been saying around, of course, their own health. Finances, of course, have been coming up. Health insurance, losing their job. Job security is a big one, and I don't blame you. There's so many questions around where jobs are going to be in 2021 and what it looks like. I think for me, mainly, health is probably the big one there. Making sure, my parents are high risk category, and they're the area they live in. For us guys, we're in like a tiered system where, if right now, if you're living in Toronto, we're in like the black zone, I feel like. But anyways, making sure their health is okay, and they've had more and more cases within their area, and definitely don't want to see anything happen to them. So we've got a couple of people, their family members are in the hospital, finances and health are, balancing your life. I think that's a huge one that we're all struggling with right now. It's definitely not, it's not easy. There's no easy right now. We can't hit the easy button and say that was easy anymore. Let's just hold on and make sure we're still going.
You know what's interesting about this, Ria, is if our participants here have just a moment just to scroll through and see like what other people are going through as well. This is something that, you and I did at Hi Mama a few weeks ago when we had that amazing session, and people were saying some really heavy things, and it kind of puts things into perspective as well. I know it's hard to not bring your stress to work, but it shows up, and it's going to show up, and it's going to keep showing up. But something to help you realize we're all going through our struggles. We're all going through things is, take a look at this chat right now. If you can, just scroll through. We're all dealing with our own things. And I think more than ever, that's why it's super important to treat each other with kindness and to go into things with a lot of kindness, because we're all going through stuff. We don't always show it, but there's stress in everyone's life, and you don't know everyone's story. So that's definitely super important to remember. If there's one thing to take away from this session here, I think it's that.
To add, I think it's to just know you're not alone right now. And I totally agree. When you do have a chance, folks, please do. I echo this from what Kiah said. Do scroll through and see what other people are saying. And I want to say thank you as well for those people who are sharing with us, because some of this can be very, very personal, and we don't want you to feel uncomfortable. But we do have a second question, and I want to make sure to give everybody time to answer all those questions. And we have a couple coming up, this one and another one later on. But maybe what's one way you've helped manage your stress right now that you've been doing? Whether for me personally, I make a lot of phone calls home. I probably talk with my parents daily, and with that though, I get to see some great little cuties on the other end of the phone too, so it's a bit of an upper for me. And of course, just making sure to check in on my mom. I won't lie, I probably text her like every 5 minutes, but maybe a bit much. What about you, Kiah? What do you do?
Amazing. It's so amazing to see the little ones. What I usually do is I write things down. I find writing things down like a to-do list or something really helps me out. Whether it's, before bed, what I need to do, I write it down, and then I can visually see what I need to do, what I need to get done. That really helps. I know journaling, like a gratitude journal, and that's something that we've been doing at Hi Mama as well, is something that people are taking. They can do that.
Some great ones in the chat. I want to call out a couple here just because. So a couple of journalings, a lot of R&R, making sure to read, yoga. I love yoga, folks, daily. It's super helpful. Some meditation. For me, meditation, I've never really been able to get into it, but I definitely plan some mental days, folks. I recommend. Kiah, you recommended. We had this conversation a week ago with our team.
Yeah, the thing with mental health days, and I know personally, Rhea, personally, it's so hard to take a day off, even if you have the flu. Being an early childhood educator, getting that coverage, it's so hard. But if you're able to take that day off and communicate with your team, hey guys, I'm having a lot on my plate right now. I need a day off. Communicate that with your team. It's so hard to, get rid of that stigma of, oh, you're taking a mental health day and you're going to the spa. Like, don't leave us high and dry. But it's not that. Like that, whatever that person needs to do to feel better, to work at 100% again, I think that person should do. So, having that open communication with your team about, I have a lot on my plate. they may be able to take some of that stuff off your plate for you, and vice versa. When a team member is having a hard day, try to take something off their plate, whether it's, and when I was in the preschool classroom, doing diapers was like the last thing I wanted to do, and being alone in the bathroom with the kids coming in and out with the diapers, having someone do my diaper routine while I can just, sit there and put kids to sleep during lunchtime was just like, that made a world of a difference. So if you can do that for someone, it's going to get returned back to you. So, having that mental health days helps a lot for sure. But also, even if you're not able to take one, seeing what one of your coworkers or one of your teammates can do to take something off of your plate and vice versa is just as beneficial.
100%. Absolute 100%, Kiah. It's totally, it's worth it. And I think definitely starts with being able to say, I need that mental health day, and for the team to recognize just how important that is. I think really it starts there. And speaking of team, let's jump in. We know folks, and thank you as well for offering up everything you've been telling us here. Please keep it coming. And we know this is really hard. It's really hard, I think, is the understatement, but it's really hard right now. Let's talk some tools. This is probably, I think, my favorite part. I'm so excited to share some of the things actually we've been doing here at Hi Mama, but I'm going to let Kiah dive in here for these two guys and walk you through a couple of tools. We have some handouts as well. They're going to be in the show notes for you, so you'll see some pictures, but I just wanted to make sure to call that out before we dove in. So
awesome. Thanks, Ria. So one of the tools that we have available for everyone to use is a circle time for adults. I know it sounds a little bit silly. We do circle time with our children, but this is a really great way for you to check in with yourself and identify those feelings early on and really assess what kind of day you need. Is this going to be a super productive day for you where you're going to get everything done on your list? Great. It's going to be a green day. Or is this a day where you're like, I don't know, I could work a little bit here, I could work a little bit there. That might be more of a yellow day. Or is this a write-off day? Maybe you are just not leaving your couch, you are not leaving your bed, or maybe if you have to go to work, you are just not in it. That's okay. We all have those days. Our head is not in the game. That's a red day for you. And it's totally okay to have those types of days. And that is the traffic light system in a nutshell. So having those different days, check in with yourself. Is this a green day, a yellow day, a red day? That's a really, really important thing to do. It may change throughout the day. It may be, a disco party with green, yellow, and red throughout the day. Who knows? We all have those kinds of days. But checking in and labeling how you feel is definitely the first step of awareness and getting the support. So, just the other week, I'll give a personal example. I told my team, I'm having pretty much a red day. I'm here, I'm online, but I'm having a red day. Don't talk to me. I'm going to get my work done. Don't talk to me though. And I told them that, and they supported me. They were able to say, okay, I'm going to let you get your work done. This question, it can wait till tomorrow. No problem. And they know that now. So by communicating with your teammates and saying, I'm having a yellow day, I'm having a red day, they can know and they can support you. If you're having a green day, great. Celebrate those days and let your teammate know, I'm having a green day. Maybe today, if you're having a red day, I'm having a green day, I can take something off your plate for you. So really kind of balancing with your team. We know working in the field of ECE, we work super, super close, whether 2, 3, 4 educators all in the same classroom, you're all on the same schedule. Being able to openly communicate with other educators about what kind of day you're having is super important. So not only does it bring awareness to yourself, but it brings awareness to others and how they can more approach you and support you in those different ways. So here is a little bit of the emotions by color. So the stoplight system we were saying. So you've got the green, the yellow, and the red, and you can put what type of day that you are having in this here. So again, just following up, what kind of day you're having, maybe come up with a list of, 3 to 5 different days, and also come up with a list of them, and then 2 to 3 points of things you can do to help if you're having that specific day. So using this system here, what are some things in here? Maybe the green zone is where you are going to get your to-do list done. You can write there. You can write that in there. Maybe a red day, this is the day I need Netflix. Yellow, this is the day where maybe I need to call a friend to see a little bit of extra support. Write down those things that are going to help you during those days so that you know right off the bat, if you're having a red day, I know that this is something I can do to help with that red day. If I'm having a green day, yellow day, this is something I can do during those days to help me. Ria, did you want me to continue on with Mr. Scooter here?
Oh, please do. I asked for permission, but maybe if you want to give some context to how we use this one.
Sure, I'll say it,
Let's do it.
From our perspective and how educators can use it, and you can take over there. So this is Mr. Scooter. He is the beloved dachshund here on the marketing team. He belongs to our designer here on the marketing team. He is the cutest dog. If you're a dog person, he is definitely your dog. So this here is, you may have seen it online, the different moods, I guess you would say. You've probably seen it with like celebrities, different moods. What mood are you today? This here is Scooter that you could use as an example. Maybe do it with your own pet, or your own silly faces or your own celebrity faces of how you feel in that day. So this was something that we used on our team here of what kind of day are you having? Are you having a Scooter number 1 day, this playful Scooter day? Are you having the show in the teeth kind of day, a cheeky day? Are you having the last photo here, more of a serious Scooter day? Different days we all have. No day is the same. Very unpredictable. So using a system like this is definitely a great way to not only identify your feelings, but let others know in kind of like a silly, playful way of what type of day you're having. Ria, did you want to chime in there a bit?
Yeah, we've definitely had a lot of fun with this one, and I can definitely say I've picked the last Scooter there one day last week, I believe it was, and I know Carmen has picked the one where the teeth was showing the other day. But it's nice to be able to create something that is specific to you or your team member. Like if you are working, let's say Kiah and I, we were working in a classroom together, to be able to have that common language where we know how we're both feeling, but we don't necessarily want to put words to it. This is just A, like you said, a fun way to do it, but B, it gets that label out there. And then this way you can start, feeling better about whatever's going on that day with you. So.
And this is something that you could do in the classroom as well. Having like a pet be your kind of mood board is definitely a really cute way. Maybe you could do it with like a cartoon character. I think you and I, Ria, were talking about a SpongeBob one. I don't know if kids these days know who, what SpongeBob is. But yeah, include one of their favorite characters, or maybe like people's faces that they know, like cartoon characters, and have them point and say, when they come in the classroom, that's what kind of day I'm having, or that's what kind of day I'm having, so that you as an educator know how to support them. I think that's a really cool way to introduce it to children and to adults.
I love how flexible it is. Let's press on. Let's talk about some tracking here. I would have to say this is probably me in so many ways. I do two different types actually, but ideally, if you want to track how you're feeling, I actually do a journal every day where I have colors that are associated with each of my days. Let's give you a little sneak peek, guys. I'm not going to give you the fine details, but where I actually color in how I feel that day. And each color for me is representative of something different. So just to give you a sneak peek of where I'm at right now. And then this way I'm actually very aware, and it takes that label and shows me how I'm feeling. And I always leave a little room for the end of the day, because I tend to like to label it when I'm first thing in the morning. Part of habit, I think. But for you can also do it with words. So, and this is more of like, think of it as you're refilling a bucket for yourself, and you're making sure that you're taking time to prioritize those things that will make you feel like good. It was beneficial. It's refreshing. So start with making like a list of a couple of things you do throughout the week. Some of those things may be things that you have to do. Some of those things may be things you like to do, whatever it is. So it could be going for a walk, watching TV. I love to unwind at the end of the night and put a show on and just kind of space out. I won't lie. Banking is one of those things where you have to do it. Eating ice cream, that number one priority. But anyways, in this household. So then from there, take some time on a scale 1 to 10 and rank how important that is to you, and how. So like banking it's very important, but of course it may not refill your energy bucket, but you got to get her done. going for that walk and getting out, that's really important, especially right now. Darby, shower, that's an easy two on my list right now. It should not be, but I'm just joking, guys. It definitely should be one of the biggest things we've learned is to do both those things. All right. It is something you need to do for yourself. Getting out and going for a walk, I think, is just super key right now because you're getting out, you're getting the fresh air, and there's so many different benefits that come from that. So take some time, do that, make a list of those priorities and see what things you finally get stuck on. What are those things that you get stuck on, but they don't really benefit you as much? How can you change your habits to maybe making those things happen a little easier, making the transition happen a little better? Let's say laundry. Who likes doing laundry? I actually don't mind doing laundry. It's kind of weird, isn't it? If you like to do laundry, I'm sorry, but let's say it's something that's, it brings you a 1, but you get stuck on it all the time. So maybe putting it between, let's say you need to do laundry tonight, and you really want to have that bath, but you also want to go for a walk. So is there a way you can put that one thing between two things that make you happy, and see if that will help you just stop getting stuck on something like that. Okay. I won't lie, the bath would probably be ahead of that. So we're going to include this, guys, as well, when Miss Kiah was going over the traffic light one. Write down your activity, write down your rank, put your star on there, and see what things you can do to just help reprioritize yourself. Okay. The next one is a little bit more of a team sport, a little bit more aimed at you guys and of course, any of these you can do as a team. It's not just a one thing you need to do, but take it and break down 2 or 3 stressors that potentially happen. Now, whether you want to do that with the coworker in your room, if there's 2 or 3 of you, if you want to sit down, if you want to do it where all the toddler teachers do it, all the preschool teachers do it, whatever you want to do, or even as a entire team. Sit down and list those 2 to 3 big stressors, but don't just list them. Okay, take time and break down that stressor to the absolute max where you can't explain it anymore. Okay, so what it is, obviously, why do you have this stress in your life? Let's say it is the laundry at the center. Well, you have to do laundry. And what's the demands? Like, why do you have to do it? Break it down, every single detail you can think of when it comes to those 2 to 3 stressors. Okay, really thinking it through. And don't go overboard on it. But you want to make sure that you've really just connected with why you have that stressor. That's the big thing. So the key takeaways from this is that what you're going to do is, once you label that stressor, you're going to decide on what you can do with that stressor. You're going to decide if there's action you can take on that stressor, and you want to reward yourself. I mean it, you do. You really need to reward yourself because it's important. And when you go to label it, this is what you need to think about. Is this a stressor that you can avoid? So if you label it avoid, it's something that you've focused on the things you can control, you've done the things that you have to do, and the rest you have to let it go. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people. It's hard for me, actually. Alter it. If you want to alter it, you want to take inventory of the situation and make changes of the things you can change. Is there anything you can change? So if you're going to be able to alter it, what is it? Accepting that it's totally out of your control. You just need to get support for it. So from there, you're going to maybe ask your supervisor or a coworker. If it's something at home and you're doing this with your family, your partner, even your children, they can help you think about things and support it in a different way. And the last one is adapt. And I say this because I feel like sometimes we get hit with a stressor and we don't want to do anything but the first 3. We don't want to think about outside the box. Reframe how you maybe think about it. Maybe you've been hit with it. You've had that emotional reaction. You need to go, whoa. Maybe I actually need to think differently about this. And I find when you do step back to think about a stressor for a minute that's outside of this, then from there, you actually can reframe your thinking. So we've had a really good question come up. Ashley, how do you learn to let things go? I think it's a little bit of both. For me, there's 2 things in my life. I'm a bit of a worrywart. What a surprise, folks. And my mom always used to tell me if she was worried, then I could worry. Well, now, of course, I'm the 30-year-old. And I still ask my mom, should I be worried? And if she says no, that's my cue to say, okay, no, I can let it go. If it's something where it's personally and it's, let's say, can't call mom because I call my mom often, then I turn to my husband and I say, A, B, and C. And he goes, well, what is worrying going to do for you? What does it do? Is it something that I actually can control? Let's say no. Is it something that I can turn around and say, I can do this for it? So I do it. But sitting there and dwelling on it, for me, it doesn't do anything. So I'm hurting myself because of it. It's something that's taken me years to, and I'm still learning about it. So for me, that's how I let things go. There's still going to be things that I have trouble letting go. Okay. And I'm sure everyone will. So one of the things, and I said, this is my example. This is an example for, I think, everybody on my marketing team with me. We tend to take on a lot more work. We want to, when we sit down for a planning session, folks, first of all, the planning session runs over time. We have to do it over 2 or 3 days. It is wild. Okay. But we always take on way too much because we want to give so much. And I know Kiah can attest to this, and so can Ms. Carmen. So of course, for me, I find I take on too much, and like my biggest downfall is because I want to get it all out. I push it out. I rush to finish a project, and it may not be my best quality. And so I can alter that. I can ask for help. I can limit the amount of projects I take on. So learning to say no, and that is not easy. That is not easy at all. And then this way, because I've only taken on 2 to 3 things, or if they're smaller things, a couple more things, it doesn't matter. But we can, focus more time on those things. So then I'm giving out more quality versus quantity. Okay. It's a huge piece. That is for sure. So just help with that stress management. We're including this guy as well. So like I mentioned, put in your stressor, whatever it is. Carmen sings, let it go. Carmen, let it go from Frozen. Now I'm never going to let that go in my head. It's a good one though. Put the decision you've decided to do on this one. So are you going to alter it? You're going to take action on it? Are you going to avoid it? What is it you're going to do with that stressor? And then what is the action you're taking with it? So we've chosen what it is, but what is it exactly we're going to do? Okay. It's a big piece. So some of the key takeaways, folks, and I'd love to see any questions coming out from you guys here. These are great questions, and I'm loving as well the content that you guys are giving through here to support other folks on the channel. But the key takeaways from today: you're never alone. We said this in the beginning. We've said this throughout. You are never, never, never alone, ever. You can see it on the chat if you scroll back on the important things that are happening right now. You are not alone. Okay? I can't stress that enough. Some of the things are going to be in your control. There's going to be some things that are not in your control. Do not dwell on those things that are out of your control. And last but not least is we've got this. It may be a show that's absolutely wild, that is, we don't feel like we've got it. I'm sure we don't, but we've got this. And Terry, it's absolutely right. It's okay to say no. It is definitely okay to say no. All right. It's some key things. Oh, thank you. I want to know, and maybe Ms. Kiah, if you want to come back on here, what's your superpower?
Oh, geez, my superpower. Well, before I hop in the superpower, I also wanted to mention, because I know a lot of folks are saying, like, I talk to my pets, I talk to my spouse, I talk to, whoever their friends. Friends are great for that. And I think something that we should really iterate here on this webinar is to talk to a therapist. Yeah. If you're able to afford therapy, and there's a lot of great online therapy services available now, thanks to COVID, you can talk to a therapist, and it can be, relatively, financially okay. I know it is a big investment, especially if you want to go ongoing, but I've been seeing a therapist for 20 years, and, having that relationship with someone just to vent Sometimes you realize, oh man, the stuff I'm worrying about is actually kind of silly and it doesn't matter. That helps a lot. And they really help put things in perspective for you. And again, the whole thing with mental health days and, I see a therapist shouldn't be seen as like, oh, something's wrong with that person. It should be seen as that is amazing. You're getting help for yourself and really like support one another. I think the whole therapy thing is just a really great piece. We need to, as a society, just accept people go to therapy, and that's great for them. And everyone should try therapy. I did a presentation at Hi Mama a couple months ago on why everyone should try therapy. Just try it. A lot of places have like your first session free or first session like half off. If it works and you click with that person, great. You can have a lifelong relationship, professional relationship with that person. So therapy can be a great thing. So moving on to my superpower. This one actually came pretty easy to me. I think my superpower is being a people person. I'm really good at throwing parties. I know it sounds a little bit weird, especially now with COVID. I haven't thrown a party in over a year, and my like inner Kiah is kind of like, oh, I need to have a party. But I love throwing parties, whether it's like a birthday party, a Christmas party, Halloween party, a just because party. Like I love making the apps and decorating and like working the room and talking with all my friends. I love going to parties. I'm just a really great people person, I think. So I think my superpower would be to throw a party.
I love that. And I want to just back up for a sec and piggyback off what you're saying about the therapy. I think there's a huge stigma around going for therapy, and there really shouldn't be. I agree. Finding that person to just talk to it's so important. We've actually had somebody here message. There's this thing on the online that you called. It's called Q Buddy. It's a quarantine buddy, and it's free service. And you can go in and actually be a part of it. You can check it out online if you're lonely. It's speed group kind of friend idea. And I think that that's definitely something that's great, especially if you're made, like you said, Kiah, like therapy can be super expensive depending on what it is that's obviously going on. So please don't feel like there's no options out there for you. I definitely think that's huge. My superpower, oh man. That's a hard one for me. I won't lie, Kyle. I was that person who would do all the diaper changes. I loved diaper changing. Don't know why. I think I took it on as like it was a challenge to get through as many people, like many children diaper changes in a short period of time, obviously in the correct way. But yeah. Stacy's saying to do a parking lot party, by the way. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think for me, I was definitely I was the diaper changer. That is my power. I also did all the potty training for the class I worked in, so I think that's definitely some great ones. So
that was mine too. In a weekend, if I had the parents on board, cold turkey. Monday they'd leave by Friday in diapers, and on Monday they would be in underwear full time. Like yeah. I love potty training. That's so weird, but
I don't know. It just happens.
It's good. It's so rewarding too as an educator. I totally feel you on that one.
Yeah. So I'm going to call this out. Stacy's saying that Q Buddy is worldwide, so they have many Canadian friends on there too. Make friends with a Canadian, guys. We're nice people. Everyone's nice. I'm just kidding. Superpower is making people laugh. A lot of people are putting some great things in there. Some sense of humor. I love that. I love a little sarcasm twist on the end of it too. Miss Kiah, have you seen any great ones in the chat here? Amanda is in here.
Someone said gardening. Carrie said gardening. And I'm like, yes, we need more gardeners. Like if you have a green thumb, I feel like there's no middle ground. You're either really good and have a green thumb, or you're really bad at gardening and you have a brown thumb and you kill even like succulents and a cactus plant. Carrie, let us know what you're planting and how you got so good at it. I don't know. Is it genetic? Did you read a book? Or are you just naturally good at it? I'm curious on that.
I agree. I just water things. That's all I do. I don't plant them. Hi, Amanda. I see your superpower is ability to leave my troubles at the door and just distracting myself by engaging with the kids. I love it. And I think we all have trouble right now, especially being at home for some of us who are working from home, about leaving work at the door. That work-life balance, which of course we saw with some of the stressors that people are worried about right now, is huge. It's hard to do so. I definitely, for me, I try to leave. When I leave my laptop, I leave work. And I know that's not easy. For some people, their laptop becomes a different device for them in the evening. Kiah, what do you do to kind of like do that work-life balance at home right now?
Oh, geez. Right now, so I block off my calendar actually, and this is something I learned from Hi Mama when I was on the customer success team, is blocking my lunch in. Otherwise, I would not get
Yep.
a lunch. I'd just be on the phones and email all day. So I block off my lunch, which is pretty easy for educators in the classroom because you have that designated time. But like leaving work at the door, it's hard, of course, as soon as you leave you always want to go home and you want a program plan. So what I like to do is, again, block off time in a calendar. I used to live by a paper calendar when I was in the field. Now I live by my phone calendar,
Mm-hmm.
and block off time for, okay, I'm going to work on this project from this hour to this hour. And as soon as it's done, it's done. And having that mindset as if I didn't get it done, what really is going to happen? Like, what really is going to happen? I mean, if I didn't get my program plan done, like my director wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't have something planned. But then I just do something on the fly and the kids end up loving it way more because it's something on the fly. And Miss Kiah's a little loopy because I didn't have everything planned and the circles aren't cut out and there's glue everywhere. But that's like fun. When I think about that in hindsight,
Mm.
those activities that were the best for me were the ones where I'm like, that just came to me, so just kind of really put things into perspective. Like, what will really happen if I don't get this done on time? Like, it might mean a lot to me and it probably means a lot to that person, but what does it really mean to that other person? Who am I really disappointing? It might just be only yourself. And that's something that you might just have to be okay with and just let it go. Something that I actually said in a meeting at Hi Mama the other week, Rhea, I think you were in that meeting where I just said, just think about it. We're all just living on a floating rock in space.
I remember.
That's what Earth is. We're just living on a floating rock and things are going to be okay. And things aren't cool right now, but they're going to be okay. We're going to get through it. So just kind of put things into perspective there. And our, our community here has given off so many amazing, wonderful examples of
I
how to
know.
put things into perspective, writing things down, going for a walk, meditating, journaling. There's so many amazing examples, and I definitely encourage you to try other ones. Journaling may seem like a kind of scary, maybe boring concept for you, but just try it. You may fall in love with it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's totally true. One of the big ones I've seen come through kind of to relate to what you're saying is tomorrow is another day. Yes, it it will be there tomorrow.
Yes, it will be there
It will be there.
tomorrow. Yeah. It's so easy to
100%.
bring work home with you and just continue working just to get it done. But tomorrow's another day and you're actually going to have probably a better, more clear mindset. First thing in the morning, you get your coffee, whatever you need to do, you're going to have a much clearer mindset after the day after. And you may realize something once you put that work down. Oh, I never thought of this aspect of something. You get to bring a new perspective to that project or whatever you're working on.
Yep, 100%. Ms. Kiah, we got a couple of little things as we do wrap up a little slowly here. Just, I wanted to share this quote. I thought this was a fantastic quote before I hand it over to Ms. Kiah to talk a little bit more about some of the great things that are happening right now. But you don't have to figure everything out today. Kind of goes really well with what we're talking about. You don't have to solve your whole life tonight. And you don't have to tackle everything all at once. You just have to show up and try. You just have to focus on the most immediate thing in front of you, and you have to trust that you'll figure out the rest along the way. And I love this quote. I think it's fantastic, and I hope it leaves you feeling a little more lifted, knowing that, like Kiah and I have been saying through this whole time, you're not alone, and that we will get through all of this together, and that those stressors will be there, but we can definitely manage those as well along the way. So as we do wrap up, if you guys have any last questions, we've sort of been plugging and playing these as they've been going, as we've been talking, so which has been really nice. But let us know if there are any last ones coming in. But for shout outs, I wanted to shout out everyone for just being so open today, so willing to let themselves be out on the table, to open up and tell us what's bothering you, to tell us what you do to like solve those issues, and definitely be out in there. And of course, a couple of people, Stacey, you've been sending out some really great things. Who, when all else fails, does a goofy dance. I 100% agree. I was doing that last night in my bathroom when I was washing the toilet. That's maybe too much, guys. Sorry. But at the end of the day, so many great things from not just the comments, but as well the support you guys have been giving each other within the chat. So thank you for being open to share all of that with us today. So Ms. Kiah, do you want to add anything for shout outs before we continue?
Yeah, you guys are, I'm just like, my heart is so warm after reading all these comments. You guys have been so supportive, and I've seen like a few like new connections happening between the ECEs here. And it just like, this is an amazing community that we've created here. And Hi Mama is here for you. I know it seems like, oh, you know, you guys are just like an app, but we're also people too. And we're lucky enough, Ria, myself, and a few others on our team have been in the field, and we know what it's like, and we want to support you and help you. So, I mean, Ria said in the beginning, but if there's anything that we can do at Hi Mama here to help make your life easier, let's do it. So I'm just loving the comments here.
I agree. I feel very wholesome right now. I won't lie. Okay, folks, always the technical stuff. The certificate has been shared. It's in the file section here. Ms. Carmen has gone ahead and done that for you guys. So please, if you would like it now, go ahead, download it, pop your name, your center name in there, get her done. Otherwise, you'll get it in tomorrow's show notes. So don't be shy. Once again, along with the recording and everything from today. Okay. Last but not least, before we jump to Ms. Kiah here, next week we're bringing back Meg and Ryan, by which I mean we're bringing them for the first time from our little hiccup a couple weeks back. I'm very excited to be talking about this topic with them. So building relationships with families during the pandemic, obviously been a very hard thing since most families can't come into the centers right now, depending on where you are. But I'm super excited to have them both here, and it's great too because we're getting Meg is down in the States and Ryan's up here in Canada, and it's just like a really cool little combination. So I'm very pumped to have them both on. So Ms. Kiah, I'm going to let you take it from here to wrap up.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much. I see you. I see you're about to click exit on this meeting. Do not click exit. Stay here. I have a very important announcement. You will want to stick around for this. 2020 ECE of the Year awards are here, and I'm so excited to announce it. 2020 has been one wild ride, and what better way to go out with 2020 than celebrating you guys, celebrating our amazing ECEs, our amazing educators in the field. We want to celebrate you, and we need your help. We need to find these people. I know you know an amazing ECE. Maybe you are that amazing ECE. Nominate yourself. Get someone to nominate you, you know, get your community together. So we're going to celebrate the ECE community with our awards. And if you've been with us for a while, you know, we've been doing this every year, and it's back this year. I know a lot of people were looking forward to it. So what is the ECE of the Year? Of course, you guys are super, super critical in children's development, but you're even more so critical now because you are an essential worker and you have been through so much during COVID. You've been through so much during 2020, and we want to celebrate you, and we want to recognize you because we know how undervalued and underappreciated ECEs are. We want to know who makes the biggest impact in their community. So we want to celebrate them. So nominate them. We want to give them this title of ECE of the Year. The prizes, I know everyone's curious about the prizes. First of all, you get some iPads, sweet iPads, one for the winner and one for the nominator. You're going to get a personalized award plaque that we're going to send to you. It'll have your name on it and ECE of the Year. You're going to get an interview on our preschool podcast by our CEO, Ron Sperenberg. He's a fantastic human being, and we want him to interview you. And you're also going to get a spotlight on the Hi Mama website. So we'll do a little bit more of a formal interview and all of your amazing accomplishments. So how do you nominate? The very, very important part. What you need to do is first create a post on either Facebook or Instagram and tag or mention your nominee. So you're going to use the hashtag ECE of the Year, and you're going to tag us, Hi Mama app, so we can see your entry. Make sure, you know, if your Instagram or your Facebook is private, you just make sure that you publicize it so that we can see it. Otherwise we can't, and tag us and use that hashtag. So please make sure it's a post rather than a story, because those disappear after 24 hours and we might not see it. Tell us in that post why they deserve to win. We want to hear everything about it. Tell us all the amazing, amazing things this person did. We want to hear their story. And lastly, share this post with your network. So click that share button, have everyone spread the amazing word about it. What an amazing person that you are nominating is. We want to see the likes, and they deserve all of the love from their community. So make a post, tag us, use that hashtag, and share it so we can see that love. How do you win? We're going to be watching our social media accounts, and we're going to narrow down the competition to top 5 finalists. Once those finalists are announced, you're going to have 2 weeks to vote for the winner. So make sure you click that follow button on our Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date with who those finalists are. And of course, some important dates you don't want to miss. You have from now till December 11th to submit your entry. So if you know that amazing ECE, submit them right now. Tag us, use that hashtag. We're going to announce the finalists on December 18th. And then we're going to announce the winner. We're going to kick off 2021 by announcing the winner on January 8th. We are so excited. Go over to social media, submit it. I want to see some stories. So excited for this year.
It's going to be amazing.
Very excited.
I am so excited. Carmen, before we wrap up, because you've been in the background this whole time, is there anything you want to add?
I'm like typing frantically, and I just want to add that I'm also really excited, especially because we're flipping the vote over to you guys this year. So it's going to be people's choice, and we just want to see all of your nominations. So until next week, gang, we'll see you guys. Have a good one. Stay happy, stay healthy, and take some time for yourself.
Agreed. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.